Hey guys, Tommy here. So I wanted to provide you guys an update here on Monero. The first thing I want to remind you guys to keep in mind that my perspective is that of, a more long-term investor. I'd say medium to long-term investor. I'm not a trader just to ride the pumps in short-term movement. So on that note, keep in mind the shorter the time frame is of any investment, the harder it is to tell what will happen. So it's the same for virtually any asset. I don't really want to make frequent updates, but I figure I'd provide this one for you guys. So all in all, Monero is still a great long-term hold. And there's, a new anonymous cryptocurrency that could come out, but it takes a while for it to pass the test of time. I'd say that's important. It can take months at the earliest, or perhaps years. So Monero is still very strongly positioned there for the long term. Looking down here, the buy orders for Monero have dried up quite a bit, and the sell orders have a fair amount of volume there as well. So the market has shifted. This is the weakest I've seen the Monero market since the surge started. So I'd say short term, buy demand is low. So just be really cautious of that. This is the kind of change in market demand that I was talking about, the ride kind of losing steam. So that's what's going on here, and it looks like it's cooled off quite a bit. So keep in mind, though, of course, this demand can change very quickly. It can change in a fraction of a day or over the course of a couple of days or weeks. It can shift a lot. But just so you guys know where it was at, and I've posted pictures on my Twitter, which again, if you don't follow me on Twitter, definitely do. Link to that in the comments or the section below here. But the market demand used to be, like a tsunami. It would look like a tsunami. It would cut off around here because that's how strong it was. And it was the same thing for Ethereum. And it's obvious when you have that much organic buying pressure, it's going to push the price, upwards, unless, of course, a whale on the opposite side pops up. It doesn't happen too often. But anyway, so that's what was going on right now here. It looks like it's almost leveling out. So there's not a ton of buy pressure with respect to the sell pressure anymore. So it looks like it's kind of stabilizing here, or the price could dwindle down a bit too. Of course, that may not be the case too. Another whale or a lot of buy pressure can come back in, especially if there's positive news like the GUI or say other dark markets announce support for Monero. Those are the kinds of things that can affect this. So I'd say for long-term investors, nothing has really changed. The use case is 100% still there. The demand from the dark markets and just people who want privacy. So in the long term, I'd say it's looking just as good. Very bright future. So I expect, these Monero and other anonymous cryptocurrencies that prove themselves to do well in time to prosper. So if you're an investor and you plan on holding for long term, this doesn't really affect you at all. If you're a trader for the short term, know that there can be downside here in the short term. For me personally, it doesn't make a difference. I'm not interested in short term movement. I'd rather just catch the big waves. That's the way I want to function, unless of course I'm algorithmic trading, and I'm not doing that right now. So this is the way I invest. So that's it. I just wanted to share this with you guys so you can kind of see what's going on. But yeah, as I mentioned before, the market does look a lot different than it did after these first two surges. The buy orders were just tremendous there with respect to the sell orders. It's cooled off now, so we're definitely in a cooling off period. We'll see what happens. It might take a while for something to happen. It might not, but that's where it's at. So hopefully it's been helpful for you guys. I wish you guys the best and talk to you then.